Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray.
John.
And you.
Good morning.
And who are you?
I'm Peggy Burton.
I haven't seen you since in a week.
In a week.
Who
Been a
are
whole
you?
week, right.
Where have you been?
It's been hot.
It has been hot.
It's been a little bit on the hot side, and
You been in your pool?
not as much as I used to because
It's hot.
Yeah, you kind of boil when you go in there. No, really, the only time to get in the pool now is early in the morning or
Yeah.
later in the afternoon. But
How does Jazz Man like the heat?
he works with it rather
He
well.
works?
Yeah.
What, is he black? Is he dark?
Yeah, he's a jazz man.
Well, I know that,
Every-
but
so many great jazz men were black.
oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I love them. There's so much talent out there, but jazz man likes jazz music. He gets on the window behind me when I play the piano.
Really?
I have a stool against the window.
So he likes the
when
music.
When
huh?
he hears music, he goes and sits on the stool.
Well, isn't that something?
Yeah,
Dottie sleeps on the piano bench.
really.
She got up on the keys one time. She didn't. That didn't do that. She didn't like that.
That's funny. You'd think they'd like to hear the sound.
Now, when she did that, it scared her.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah, it scared her.
Big
so,
week coming up.
She's very sensitive to sound.
Well,
I have a little.
I wanted to tell you that I finally went online and watched the mayor, people
Oh, did you?
running for mayor. Really well done. I think that was fabulous, by the way, that each one has great points.
Sure.
You know. And I'm sorry I can't vote in this election because
Well,
I do everything here.
but you can still be
But
supportive.
I think that it's so good that you all put that on
Yeah.
our channel.
So
I hope other people
yeah, well,
are-
that was done. We did our interviews, and then LightTube did interviews, and also then they had the radio, the forum, the thing they had at the high school,
Yeah.
which we streamed that as well.
And
So we're full.
It's
We're
so, so
of
good
politics.
that we have access to that in this little small town. Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
We have two TV
Well,
channels.
see, people don't realize, we've been doing this for 32 years, and that's a long time for a lot of people. That's a lifetime for a lot of
Oh, yeah.
people. And they don't realize, and of course, LightTube came on because of some people in the community, I guess, thought we needed more speed.
Yeah.
So we invested, the city invested or underwrote the investment for LightTube. But other than Fayetteville and a couple of places, when we started doing this, we were basically one of a kind in the whole state of Tennessee.
I know. For a small town, it's a
To have
wonderful
to have
thing
what
to do.
we have, to do what we did, and I don't know if people really realize that. Think because it's here, it's everywhere. It's not, and it's still not.
Right. For some reason, I thought, did Winchester ever have a channel or anything that was live?
They had a guy over there who Dale Moore, and he did something on Comcast. But I tell you what, we one night we were doing a Christmas parade. It's funny, but it wasn't funny. It was I was upset about it. He got down the old Winchester Highway over there because our feed goes all the way to Deckard.
Right.
On the old Winchester Highway, he got in somebody's house over there, a buddy, and they took our Christmas parade that we did live
To
and
Winchester.
put it on the air in Winchester. Stole it and put it on the air in Winchester and ran their commercials on it and everything.
How'd they get by with that?
Well, they didn't get by with it.
Oh, okay.
So, but there's well, we've been doing this for a long time, and we're proud to do it, and glad to still be here. And without our sponsors, the people who have stood behind us for 32 years, we wouldn't be able to do this. There's not a whole lot of money. There's no money to be made in it. Basically, we have had enough sponsors to basically break even.
Which I guess is pretty good.
But what it's
Right.
done is it's given the city
An outlet that they wouldn't otherwise
a
have.
history, a 32-year video history of everything going on in this
I know.
town.
And it can
And
be and it can be
it's-
saved and looked back on.
put a lot of people on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And plus it also gives us our own stage to put on who we want to put on
There
and
you
talk
go.
about what we want to talk about. And, you know,
I
when
know,
you're a
we're-
performer and a clown like I am, to have your own stage is a wonderful thing,
Yes, it is.
you know. And we, just like South Jackson Goes Country and that stage that we have down there, I'm a huge supporter of small stages because without them there would be no stars.
We're getting close to brand new seats.
Brand new seats, that's good, supposed to be
Floors-
there by the
The
country
floor's
show.
been done, and what they did is brought it back to its original
Mm-hmm.
look. And I'm assuming they're beginning to put the seats in by now because it's supposed to be in by the 1st of August, I think. At least by when South Jackson Goes Country
yeah,
opens on the
opens.
9th of August. People
Yeah,
get to
there
sit in
it
those
is
new
right there.
seats. Yep. It's been a lot of work and a lot of volunteers, and I'd just like to say thank you to all those volunteers. I used to volunteer and go down there and crawl under the floor and
Oh,
do
yeah, we all
everything.
did.
But I can't do it anymore. But we have young people that have lined up and come
That's
in
wonderful.
and got the seats out, and they'll be there to help get the
That
seats
is
back
wonderful.
in. It
That
is.
is wonderful.
Uh,
Because,
so-
you know, you always worry when you get our age, who's going to fill their shoes?
I think
know?
it's important. I think that's an important thing. Every human being needs to have someone that they're mentoring that can
Fill
walk
their
into
shoes.
their space.
Right.
And if they don't fill their shoes in the same way, that's okay.
Oh, no, nobody.
But they need to have a handle on it. And right now, I give great credit to Samantha Terrell Waters because she has walked in my footsteps.
Right.
And she's doing a great job directing South Jackson Goes Country. I'm so proud of
Well,
her.
and I remember, you know, you say those damn kids, Socrates. You know how long ago Socrates lived? A couple thousand years
know,
ago.
yeah.
It was said that he made the statement, those damn kids are going to be the ruination of this society.
Right.
2,000 years ago. So nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Those damn kids are going to be the ruination of everything.
I guess
Until they step in
Until-
and do the job that they're doing, and you realize, no, everything's going to be okay.
I think one of the things that those of us that are old like me need to realize that as people step into your space, they're going to have new and innovative ideas, and you have to let them do it. I remember somebody saying, when you ask a young person to do a job for you, you got to remember they don't have your experience, so they're going to have to learn to
through
do
it.
You can't give another person experience. You
No.
can't give them all that. They have to learn those things.
Wisdom is something that is learned
Yes, it is.
over a long period of time, and I've come to figure out that the best thing you can do with wisdom is, and I have a hard time with this, I will agree, I will state the fact, the best thing you can do is keep your mouth shut and listen,
That's right.
you know?
Yeah.
Because before this young person ends up giving you all the information, you'll probably realize, yeah, they got a plan. You don't have to agree with the plan, but if they've got a plan, then there'll be a beginning and an ending to it.
Probably, somehow this went through my head. Children are different, just like we're different, and you can light a candle and you can tell one child that that's going to burn you and that's going to hurt, and he'll take that. But there's another one, and he's probably the creator and the
Oh, yeah, he
innovative
don't stick
one.
his finger in there
gonna
'cause
stick
he
his
doesn't
finger on-
believe you.
He doesn't believe you until he feels it, and I got to admire that in some way.
Sure, sure.
So-
I want to make sure you're not pulling a trick on
Right.
me.
It's pretty, maybe I can.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we're into the voting season, and it's all kinds of stuff going on. Somebody tried to kill or President Trump, who's running for president again. People I don't know, just people just going crazy.
I'm very sad that a 20-year-old person has ruined their life.
Lost it.
Right.
Their life's gone.
And it's, what in the world motivates somebody to do that?
At 20 years old, how do you get so wound up and so crazed that you'll shoot anybody?
Right. I mean,
Who wound this kid
I'm
up?
hoping that we can change
and
that
got his
attitude.
rubber band so tight that it broke, and he tries to kill anybody.
You know something I like?
That's weird. That's tough, man.
And we've still got Biden's thing to go through. I think it's next month,
Yeah.
the convention. And I hope he'll think in the same way. I'm glad that somebody has put a 39-year-old in as vice president, in case
Yeah.
they win. Because one of the things we're doing is we're not pushing our young people to. So I was pleased about that.
Yes.
Regardless of who you're for, I think we need some younger people in the higher offices.
But by the time I was 39, and you don't think about it, but sometimes every now and then I do. I mean, when I was 25 and Fran was 19, we opened our first business.
Were y'all married already?
Yeah.
You were too young.
No,
I'm kidding.
but we opened our first business. We borrowed the money, paid
Sure.
back the money,
And that was smart.
we created a business.
And that's very smart.
And I look back and I think, well, that kid can't do that. Well, why not? I did.
You did? Yeah.
And so we need to look at where we were at 37 and realize at that point in their life, when you're 37, you're grown, you feel grown, you've studied to where you're grown, you understand what's going on. I don't think 21 years old is a real good age because you don't have enough experience by then.
Right. I think experience is very important in any endeavor you have.
Yeah,
You wanna
Tolkien is one of my heroes, J.R.R. Tolkien, the writer of Lord of the Rings. And hobbits,
Hobbits, yeah.
they don't become of age until 33, which is just about the right time. That's about the time I woke up.
Well, I got to tell you, though, 33 doesn't always make it either. Sometimes people aren't adult until they're 65. It just depends on the individual.
That's true. Well, I want to read something. What you see and what you say. This is assumed truth. What exists between what you see and what you say? What you see is unfiltered, stamped on your mind as it occurred. But your eyes, mind, and heart do not always know the circumstances behind the action seen. What you say is often restricted by society's current definition of what is acceptable, or your personal ideology, which both bridle one's perspective. So between what you see and what you say is assumed
That's true.
truth. Doesn't mean it is truth.
Right.
It's the best you can figure out.
I think that's one of the problems with social media is that you're not seeing, and cell phones and whatever, you're not seeing the person you're talking to. And the person you're talking to might have had a really bad day, and maybe their inflections are a little off, and you can't see how they really feel when you're talking through a telephone line or through a...
They wouldn't talk to, a lot of them wouldn't talk that way to you, looking to you face to face. They're hiding. They don't have to, there's no repercussion.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out what their emotion is or what their feelings are.
Usually they're scarred or they wouldn't be throwing that out there.
Well, probably, maybe.
Where have the statesmen gone? Oh my, oh me. There's nothing left but politicians in Washington, D.C., hunting the deals for their pockets to gild. None go back to a job or home to plow a field. Where have the statesmen gone? Oh my, oh me. It seems public service is long gone away and personal political gain is here to stay. If some have money when they win, I don't care. The problem are the ones who get rich while they're there. Where have the statesmen gone? Oh my, oh me, there's nothing left but politicians in Washington, D.C. They represent themselves, could care less about us. Re-election is their goal while we live under the bus. Where have the statesmen gone? Oh my, oh me. Term limits is the only way it makes to make all of this stop, but they'll never vote for that. They're living at the top. All we can do is vote for honest women and men and hope we'll see statesmen in Washington again.
Yes.
So, where have the statesmen gone?
Where have all the statesmen gone? Reminds me of the song.
Remember that when you vote, you go out and vote. This is a very critical time in our country. In our small little town of Tullahoma, we have elections for mayor and alderman candidates coming up in August. Get out there, watch these public forums and things, because everybody's running them. Anywhere you get television or internet, you can find it. Listen to what each of these candidates have to say, and you make up your own mind. Don't let your neighbor make up your mind, or your buddy, or your mom, or your dad, or your husband, or your wife. Make up your own mind who you want to represent you. And with that said, let's take a quick commercial break.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
Saul, how's my water quality expert? Litter is taking a holiday and going with the flow? Is that what you're saying? Litter on our roadways is flowing into our waterways. Gotcha. And that's bad. Right, terrible. Please stop. Oh, okay, yeah. Go to nobodytrashestennessee.com to learn more. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome back. I have the busiest man in the nation right now on this set, so don't go away. Greg Gressel, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be home. It's good to be home. It's been a lot of
2 weeks
traveling, a lot of being gone, but and then a lot of things happening in my absence. So yeah. It's,
and I'll just give a quick plug to your Girl Scout group. What a wonderful experience.
Yes,
That
we
is
had a
awesome.
blast in
New York City.
In New York City.
Wow. All right, South Jackson Performing Arts Center. It's got stuff coming up and new seats going in, so
We've got a lot happening. So while I was gone, before I left, we started the floors, the restoration back to the original. They turned out spectacular.
they're beautiful.
You will be excited to see it, and we hope that you'll come to the country show. That will be the first viewing of the new floors and the new seats. The new seats arrive tomorrow, and they begin
fabulous.
installation tomorrow.
And the country show, while we're on it, is the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Of August.
Always there's a pre-show. I believe it's been changed to 6:30.
Okay.
And then the main show is at 7. Anyway, we have those new seats. I'm so excited.
It's going to be incredible. It's been a long time coming and a hard earned dream, and just trying to
Absolutely.
prepare our Performing Arts Center for the next 100 years.
I can't tell you how many times I've said, I hope I live long enough to sit in a new seat.
Yep. Well, you've made it,
I've
and
made it.
it's going to be
I hope.
awesome.
Oh, and just before the seats are ready for us to sit in, we are doing the ice cream social like we always do, except we're doing it on Saturday. And I needed to tell everybody, if there's a thunderous rain, we'll have to cancel because we can't go inside because won't have any seats. But it'll be fun. We have a dance instructor, Tim Taylor, who is absolutely fabulous, and we're going to have just a little clip here for you to look at. I guess we might not be having that one. There we go. This is the South Jackson Street Band. Anyway, we invite you to come, bring your lawn chairs, bring your dancing shoes or not. The dance instruction is 6 o'clock and the band starts at 7. The dance part is free. You're learning to dance, and the tickets are very inexpensive.
Yeah, tickets are $10 for adults. 12 and under is $5, and 5 and under is free. So we want to make it a family event. Come and bring your blankets and lawn chairs. No outside food or drinks. We'll have concessions going. We'll have all of the normal kind of things available that we normally do. And of course, then your ticket price also includes a scoop of ice cream. So you'll have ice cream with that as well, and great music.
And we're giving four prizes, which will be tickets to shows coming up at South Jackson Performing Arts Center. And there'll be a dance prize for foxtrot, swing, cha-cha, and one other. Right now, it's going over my head. Waltz.
I couldn't think of it either.
Yeah.
So. But
Anyway.
yes, it'll be great, and that'll happen throughout the evening, and it is 7 to 9.
And
so
it's Saturday night.
If you can't make it at 7, you want to come at 8? Come at 8.
Come at 8. Come when you can.
There's still time
Bring
to
your mom and them.
enjoy yourself. Bring mama and them. That's right. It'll just be a great time together, and it always is. We always have a lot of fun. Like you said, in case of the weather, we'll have to cancel because we can't go inside, but we might talk with the band, see about a date. We had to do this one time where we did it in September because of weather and just things that were happening inside. So if we do that, we might still have the social. It might just be delayed a little bit. So.
And I will also throw this in that Samantha Terrell Waters will be singing. I'll sing a few songs, but I'm easing out, and Samantha will be there to fill my shoes.
Okay,
Or
sounds
try
good.
to fill my shoes. My shoes are bigger than hers.
Yes. But yep, it'll be a great time to come out and just enjoy the evening outside. It's a great experience. So.
Yeah, I hope people will come. Then we have Linda Davis.
Linda Davis.
Every time I mention that to somebody, they say, Linda Davis.
The real Linda Davis? Yeah, the real Linda Davis. It's kind of like that time we had Sandy Patty during Christmas,
Right.
and people thought we were showing
Thought
it on
she was a tribute or something.
Yeah, but no, it is the real Linda Davis. She will be here on the 17th of August. That's the weekend after country. It's a Saturday, 7 p.m. We are also going to have a music industry and songwriters style workshop prior to.
Is that going to be like 5? Do you know what time it's going to be yet? We'll have to do this again probably.
It's 7 o'clock, so I think it's 5 to 6:30.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Okay.
So we'll look at those days, and we'll get information out about that as well, and how you can sign up to be a part of that. But it'll be a lot of fun. Her and her husband and the guy that's coming with them, honestly, between them, I think they've got like 7 Grammys.
They're all fabulous.
They're all fabulous. And it's called Evening in the Round, and they'll be in a little semicircle there on the stage at South Jackson, bringing some incredible music to Tullahoma.
It's kind of one of the things that I've always hoped we could do more of, having a real individual instead of somebody playing their role.
Right.
And Linda Davis is very well thought of. I know her daughter is big, and right now I can't call their name.
Lady A.
Lady A. And Linda has a great reputation.
She does. And, maybe we'll have a good time with them and see them more often, maybe them and friends, you never know. But definitely super excited about this particular event, August 17th, 7 p.m. I think tickets have gone on sale, so I think you can go ahead to southjackson.org and you can get your tickets already for that show. So I wouldn't wait because you want to have your pick of where you want to be. So. And
we're still going with ticket prices.
Yeah, our ticket prices are tiered. Now we have the balcony is one price, and then the sides are another price, and the center is another price. So we have 3 options for people.
And obviously the most expensive is the center.
It's the center.
But you're going to be so proud to have a ticket sitting in a new show. I mean, it's a new seat. I know I will.
Yes. And everything that we've done since COVID has doubled and tripled in price, and so we've had to adjust because everything's costing us a little more.
Well, Greg, I know you got stuff to do and people to see.
We are. We're going to have a Christmas parade meeting today. So
awesome!
It's that time.
It's that time. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You know I love you.
Love you.
We'll be back.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street, heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have interviewed personally here, I've interviewed every one of our candidates, and that is part of our job as a news reporting television station. One of our candidates has decided that he would like to have his played numerous other times, and for us to allow that to happen, we want you to realize that this is a paid commercial time that we have sold him to play his message to you, and we don't stand behind any one candidate or the other. Can't do that. We have to remain level as far as everyone's concerned, and we just want you to understand that this is P-Head Productions, or none of us personally have anything to do with the replay of Petros Pasanos, his interview with me. So that's what you're getting ready to see right now. One of our mayoral candidates who choose to pay to have his views shown again.
I came in Tullahoma in 1988 with a suitcase. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't have anything. And eventually I got a job and a second job, and later on I leased Nicola Restaurant. And later on I bought the place in 1996. Ever since I bought the place, I started using my earnings to buy different commercial or residential properties, apartments, houses. And I came to be having a bunch, which is pretty good. As far as my background before I came here, I was born in Cyprus. I am a Greek Cypriot, 1962. 1974, there was a Turkish invasion. We became refugees. My father was prisoner of war. Eventually, he came back. I finished high school. I went to the army. I was in the Special Forces, Green Beret. After the army, I went to a hotel and catering institute for 3 years. I graduated, I worked in hotels, and later on, I wanted to further my education, and that's why I came to the United States. I was a student in San Francisco at Golden Gate University. Later on, I came down to Murfreesboro. I opened a restaurant with a friend. Things didn't work out. The restaurant was fine. I just didn't want to stay there anymore, so I came in Tullahoma. I found a lady from Tullahoma. She was coming from Murfreesboro and gave me a ride, and that's how I came here. So about how I met my wife, in 1995, I went back to Cyprus, and I was working as a professor at the college, Europa College, teaching hotel management, and my wife was a student. And the president of the college encouraged us to meet. She thought we would make a good couple. And but in '96, when I came back to get my citizenship, I passed by a Nicola restaurant that I used to lease, and it was closing down. And I made an offer to the owner, Nicolas, and he accepted my offer, and that's how I bought the place. And because in my first steps in Tullahoma, Nicolas was very kind to me. When I bought the place from him, I told him that I would keep the name as a gratitude to honor his kindness. And that's why I kept the name Nicolas. Now, in 2001, my wife and I got married. 2002, we had our daughter, Eleni. 2003, we had our boy, Petros. They were raised in the restaurant. You watched them grow.
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning. They were very involved in the city and the restaurant, of course. They were working every day. My daughter was valedictorian 2020. My boy graduated class president 2021. My daughter went to the University of Pennsylvania. She graduated last month. She's now working at a law firm in Manhattan, New York. My boy is at Cornell University in New York. He's graduating next year. Now, as far as the local politics, I have been paying a lot of taxes over the years. I have been following the politics because mayors and aldermen have been coming at my restaurant all these years. I have seen many things that I don't approve or like or support. And I have also seen many mistreatments from the codes and other government officials in the city. And no matter how much I complain to the mayors, police chiefs, city codes officials, city administrators, I have been singled out and targeted by those people. And nothing was done, and so I decided if my voice cannot be heard as an outsider, how can I change things, not only for me, but for other people that may be the target from those people. So that is one of the reasons, maybe the main reason, that I want to be the mayor of this town. Now, I would like to speak about contributions, because a lot of people talk. What is that phrase? They talk the talk.
Yeah.
But they don't walk the walk.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. A lot of people like to talk, praise themselves, talk about their past jobs, what they are going to do, the promises. But I'm a little uncomfortable talking about myself and what I have done and what I have done for this town and the people of this town. But it is time to let it all out. Since I came here and I started having the restaurant and other properties, I have been helping people for every day ever since. I have given hundreds of meals to individuals and to families. I have helped financially people and families. I have given apartments of free rent or reduced rent to many, many people. I have donated money to churches, schools, fire department, police department, people who just come in and they ask for help. So, in my opinion, a person, a candidate, should be judged based on what he had done, based on his actions. How much did he help this town, these people in this town? And I am proud of what I have done. Many times, I have helped people who didn't use my help wisely. They have used my help for the wrong reasons, but I don't regret any of them. And I want people to judge me based on what I have contributed to this town. It's very important. I want nothing to benefit from the job as a mayor in this town. I only want to give back because I am thankful for this city taking me in a way, and the people who helped me or supported my restaurant, my rental properties, my family. Many people come at the restaurant and they ask about the kids and they say, we feel that your kids, our grandkids. It melts my heart.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to give back. I don't want nothing in return, and Another thing that it may make people a little upset, I don't think people who run for office, they should volunteer their time, and they shouldn't get paid by the city for their time. Personally, whatever the salary of the mayor is, I will double, I will triple, I will quadruple, and I will give it back to the people of Tullahoma, somehow to those who need help, but I will not take any money or benefit in any way from the people of Tullahoma. I just want to give. I want something from this whole thing. I want the bragging rights.
There you go.
When the city goes forward.
Okay. Well, now I know one thing you do that makes a whole lot of people real happy.
Oh.
And that is, and I have a picture of this, and how we'll end this is to show the sunflowers. And if you see sunflowers all over the town of Tullahoma, if you see them planted like this, there's only one person who does that, and that's Petros. He does that. And I guess we will end this right here by saying there's a sign right there on a piece of his property right in the middle of the sunflowers that he planted, and I guess that's the best way for you to say vote for me, isn't it?
Well, I started doing that by hand, a few sunflowers from 98 to 2002, and then in 2003 I bought a tractor with a tiller.
Okay.
And since I grew up at the farm, I started doing it on a massive scale. In that particular location, I planted a few times.
Yeah.
And in other locations, behind the restaurant and behind Walgreens, Spring Creek Road, I have many locations.
Okay.
But yeah, I do it for the people.
Good.
They should go over there and pick up some.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch, and we are here today, John, with the 57th segment of the Discussions with John and Pat.
Wow. We're going to talk about Robert Osteen.
Okay.
And, of course, he went to Forest School where I went, and but he was from
So what year would he have graduated?
1950.
Okay.
And I was 65, so there was a 15-year difference between us two.
Yeah.
But we both lived in Marshall County, and this little song about swapping knives on the courthouse square in Marshall County. Well, I was bumming around in Lewisburg, getting kind of hot and tired. So I took the seat beneath a big shade tree in the Marshall County courthouse yard. There was men standing round over halls, their pockets filled with merchandise. They was chewing tobacco, whittling cedar, telling jokes and swapping knives. Well, an old man walked up to me, a carving on a piece of wood, saying, "Hey, young feller, how you trade on knives?" And the one he had looked good. Well, I looked it over and I gave it back. He said, "Hold on, son, I got more." He pulled out a sack filled with knives. He looked like a walking store. That's what he said. "What do you give me for a tree brand boker with a tree on every blade? Here's a John D. Primoletta, genuine Barlow, and Iana Kissing Crane. Here's a double X case and an old hen rooster, a queen and an old time charade. I make no money on my knives, I just like to trade." Well, I reached down into my blue jeans and I pulled out my old knife. I figured that it wasn't worth too much, I'd carried it half my life. But when he offered me a brand new knife for my old piece of blade, I thought to myself, "You old fool, yes sir, it's a deal, I'll trade." Well, the old man kind of chuckled as he walked away from me. He didn't have nothing to laugh about as far as I could see. When I saw a fella give him $100 for that old knife of mine, I recollected every word in that old knife swapper's line. That's what he said again. "What do you give me for a tree brand boker with a tree on every blade? Here's a John D. Primoletta, genuine Barlow, and Iana Kissing Crane. Here's a double X case and an old hen rooster, a queen and an old time charade. I make no money on my knives, I just like to trade." You liar. Oh, May. I have deer.
He probably didn't beat you as bad as your uncle did on that guitar, though, did he?
No, that's right. Uncle Johnny got me on that guitar. But Robert Osteen, let's see, he was at Tullahoma. He was assistant
was
coach in
Tullahoma the
football.
first? Was that his first job?
I think he went to Lynchburg.
Okay.
I think he was at Lynchburg.
Because he helped Coach Cooper in the mid-'60s.
Then he came, the Tommy Whitaker,
and he was a baseball coach too.
Were assistant coaches.
Yeah.
And Dub Cooper was the head coach. And then Mr. Osteen.
He went to Franklin County in about 66 or 67.
Went to Franklin County, and he was over there with Moose Bowling.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a job at South Junior High as the principal. And I remember Mr. Osteen, he'd always say funny things. He said, "Somebody told me, why are you quitting coaching your football? There's a lot of prestige to that." Mr. Osteen said, "Well, you can't eat prestige." He always had something clever to say.
I believe he did his master's work with emphasis on middle schools.
He did.
Which was just coming in.
Jim Burns, the people back at that time, the school board and all, were aiming
He's superintendent
toward,
at Tullahoma.
That's right, toward the reorganizing the schools. So
Right.
we went from a junior high, which I was part of for sure, and then in 1976, 77, somewhere in that era, that we changed to the middle school concept. It was right in the middle of the year. Some of the kids went on to the some kids went to the high school and missed their 9th grade year at Easton. So it was interesting. But
I may have student taught John the last year, or the year before, rather, before they made the change. The last
well,
year.
You were in the new building.
No, I was in the old one.
You were in the old building?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Well, the old building was certainly old. It was
a good old school built in 27 or 28. It's the first public high school in Tullahoma.
But let's show a picture of Mr. Osteen, if you would, Philip. That's not a very good picture, and it's due to the poor quality of camera. on my cell phone, which is not really a very good cell phone.
We've pleaded with him to upgrade his phone, and there's one of the reasons why we've been trying to plead with him.
Well, one of these days I'll get me something else, but this one hadn't broke yet, Pat.
I understand.
Waiting for it.
That's right.
But Mr. Osteen was our principal, and you have something to say. Benny Garrett filled you in.
Well, we said that we probably need to go back. He went from South to Tullahoma and to the East Middle School because he was kind of a hot item.
Yeah.
It was really in vogue, middle schools, and he had this extra work towards his master's with emphasis on middle schools, and so Tullahoma hired him away from Franklin County. So he came back, and he served the rest of his professional career at East Middle School and was John's principal. And John's right. We've talked about Coach Osteen a couple times here, but I ran into Benny Garrick on the golf course not long ago, and he pointed to his golf cart like, "Sit in my office. I need something to share with you." and so I want to relay that in there. He when he left Chapel Hill, which would have been, I guess, coming up this school year 50-51, somebody, and he was going to go to Middle Tennessee and play football, and somebody in town told him, said, "You'll never let her." And said it just set his eyes steely, and he made up his mind he was going to let her. And he ended up lettering 4 times in football, 3 in wrestling, and 4 in baseball. And that's pretty incredible there. And he said that he didn't wrestle his senior year, and I'm assuming that he was a really good baseball player, and he had maybe an idea that if he had a really good baseball year that he possibly might get a minor league contract. But I guess he decided that he'd rather teach and coach and started doing that. But on top of that, now he got 11 varsity letters at MTSU. His senior year at Forest, they blocked 10 punts, which had been an incredible amount of punts blocked for 1 year for a high school. And of those 10, Coach Osteen personally blocked 7 of them.
Yeah,
that's we've talked about before, he was really short but really strong and really quick and tough.
I think Mr. Osteen had an innate sense of how to get to the ball carrier. I say this for this reason. When I played high school football, every man just held his ground. We didn't stunt. And stunting is one man going this way and the other one going that way and confusing the offensive blocking. Well, we just stood our ground, and sometimes we got knocked backwards, which is not what you want to get done. But anyway, we just stood our ground. And there was a few games that our coach changed up and we did a little different. But I remember my brother playing under a fellow who'd come from MTSU. His name was Ron Martin. And he said, "Johnny," or he calls me Bubba, he says, we're running plays on defense. Plays on defense? I've never heard of such, And so they do that regularly now. It's all the time, everywhere you go. But Mr. Osteen and some of his lineman friends, they would decide to do this stunning on their own. Maybe the coach told them what they might do from time to time, but they did stunning to a certain degree while he was in high school.
I think I've said on here before too that I saw a MTSU annual when he I think was either sophomore or junior, and of course his picture was in each one of those sports. And in the wrestling picture, they had knickers on with nothing from the waist up, and he looked like an absolute Greek mythology god or something. I mean, if I was him, in the classroom, I'd taken a picture of that and put it up there at front, and nobody.
Don't tread on me.
Nobody would have thought about not saying anything without raising his hand first and ask, "Mr. Osteen, could I now speak?" He was a very imposing figure, even though he's only 5'6", 5'7", something like that.
And we got to say that a little tragedy in the Osteen family here recently. Mr. Osteen died at age 70. And that's several years ago, maybe 15 years ago, a long time ago. But his wife, Carolyn, his widow, Carolyn, just passed away the other day. And, of course, Mr. Osteen had sons, Daryl, Dwayne, and
Dwight.
And all those boys have done well. None of them missed a day of school in their entire career. They probably went sick a lot of time, but Mr. Osteen didn't let. They had chores. They cut yards. Mr. Osteen had them. They were just like a little scout troop.
It's like being. We've talked about. Is it Pottsville where he was raised? What's the name?
Caney Springs.
Caney Springs, and John's taken me over there in some adventures into Marshall County, and you can't do anything there besides use it as a rock crawler. You've never seen so many rocks, and they farm that. You know, they could have made a living with that being tough.
Mr. Osteen tells me about, he would trap animals when he was young, go down to the produce house in Chapel Hill and sell the fur. And he hunted. He told me one time he got a bad case of rabbit fever, skinning a rabbit, I guess, and having a cut on his hand and maybe letting himself be infected. But he was a great guy. Everybody loved Mr. Osteen, and he was Dub Cooper, the one that he was the head coach. He was the man that kept an even keel about himself, and Tommy Whitaker's kind of similar. Mr. Osteen was that fiery person that the football team needs. They need somebody a little bit wild.
He was Coach Cooper's Tasmanian Devil, really. Probably.
Tasmanian Devil, yeah, that's good. Yeah. But it's been good talking about Robert K. Osteen.
Coach Osteen. There he is with one of his classes.
Yes, sir.
Again, the quality of the picture we want to. John won't. I'll apologize for him for having an antiquated phone, but.
And one of these days you'll see better pictures.
That's
and you'll
right.
know I've updated.
That's right. That's right.
But anyway, it's been good being here with you, and if management will allow, Pat.
That's it. This wraps up segment 57, but there's more stories, as John says, if management will allow them. Thank you all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us. Bring your books to donate and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden. I couldn't do my flower beds. I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Senior Living. Active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Goes Country a minute ago. You know, one of the things that Peggy Burton's done, well, is Peggy's done so many things for the arts in this town in the years that she and Ralph lived here. But one of the things that she does is she promotes songwriting. And we've done different things as the show has progressed throughout the 45 years of doing it. Now we have a songwriter segment on every show. We do 3 shows each year, and there are songwriter segments. And I guess I probably had, I don't know, 10 or 15 of my songs used during the show throughout the years. But I pulled one out I wanted you to see. This is Friday Night, and I Can't Stay Home. And I was thinking about how Fridays were so important to all of us in this country because, you know, most of your life, Friday is the day off. When you're off, you're out of school Friday afternoon. A lot of people work jobs that are Monday through Friday. And all of a sudden, Friday night is a really important night because you're off work, you don't have to go to work the next morning, and everybody goes out and has a great time. And so I wrote this song Friday Night, and I Can't Stay Home. And what better time to do it except for the opening number on the Friday night show of South Jackson Goes Country. I think this is Mike Sneed and the cast of South Jackson Goes Country and Friday Night, and I Can't Stay Home.
Stay name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches, mate? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Our buddy Jackie Duncan just rolled into the studio.
Hi, Jackie.
Got one of them good-looking shirts on. This cat has got style.
Thank you, sir.
Always has.
Absolutely.
Always has had style.
Thank you.
It's had a presence. I tell a lot of these young people, you need to learn how to dress. They all want to run around ragtagged with holes in their clothes and all that stuff. And I said, but sooner or later, you're going to have to be in front of somebody, and you need to dress like you've been there before.
And it can make a difference in your life.
It does make a difference.
Sure, of course it does.
First impressions, I know a lot of times, it would decide. It'll make some people decide right off whether they want to be bothered with you in their life or not, and if you make a good impression the first time, first impressions have always been good.
Yes.
And if you make a good impression the first time by your appearance and your attitude, especially your attitude.
Yes.
And it can make all the difference in the world. It can make all the difference in the world. It can be a platform for the rest of your life, or it'd be a platform for the rest of your life, either up or down, or sideways, or everywhere else.
That's right.
It makes a big difference.
You need to think about the people that you're in front of, looking for a job, say.
True.
And these are people who've worked their life to create what they own, their business, and it's a family deal, and you're representing their family. And do you think
you got some
they
good
want to
stuff
send you out with your bone in your nose and holes in your clothes? No.
That's a good line.
I like that line, Dad.
Well,
bone in your nose,
holes in your clothes.
Always a poet, yeah.
And your underwear showing.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. That was me when I was a young boy.
They sneaking something over here.
That.
Yeah, we all planning.
This is just an old calendar. My niece Danette, she is, thank God, she's another historian. She's the next generation followed me. Danette Duncan, she was Danette Duncan here in Tullahoma, and she married Sylvester Lee. So they live in Meridianville, Alabama right now, just out suburb of Huntsville. And she is such a blessing. She loves old history. And we just recently we had she came to a reunion. We were invited to a reunion. We didn't. This is part of the family. We didn't realize we even had. Didn't know they existed until 20 years ago maybe. And we were well up in age and whatever. But we found out we were related to these people over in Winchester. I never knew I had anybody closely related. I knew I had some folks in Tullahoma, Sister Jessie and some Duncans right around here. But as far as that went, and I know I had folks in California that they were part of the Great Migration, back in the early days and all this, and they left and went to Chicago and Kansas and places like that, mostly Chicago, I think, New York and Kansas, and somewhere to get a better opportunity in life. And but I know they went to Kansas in numbers, and I'm pursuing that right now. But my niece Danette, and I'm glad she's in the next generation coming up behind me that wants to be involved in history and family history and ancestry things, ancestral things. And she's a great historian. She sees somebody over 50 years old, she'll grab hold of them just about, and got her notebook and pay a pencil with her and start writing, following them around, And so she has caught some people before they left this place, this earth, caught them and got information from them that otherwise would have been taken to the grave with them, And so I am so grateful for her there's someone in every family, hopefully, that wants to record the history and is interested enough to do that. Most of us in this day and age, we just ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to fool with stuff like old stuff, and all this.
That's too bad. History is important.
That's
our
right.
lives are built on
That's
history.
right. And if each generation, the generation before me and the generation behind me, I am the connector.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm the connector because I knew the older folks that left, and I know the younger folks that are coming up. And if I'm not that bridge, and that was part of this little book right here that I wrote several years ago. And the title of it is Living on Purpose, the Portrait of Life. And the first part goes in when you open it up in the introduction, and it tells about, says, I am a bridge, you are a bridge, we are connectors for generation before and the generation after. And if we don't connect and write it down, it won't get recorded. Who's going to write it?
And we're living in a society where not as many people are having these conversations with the last generation.
That's true.
To pass it on, and I think
true.
that's very sad.
It makes it a lot of history is lost, and that's just like at my church. We're the oldest original church structure in Tullahoma.
Yeah.
Mount Zion, and we've got our old original building that was built in 81, and we built on. We added a new addition. But and like I said, I've told the story. At one point, we were the oldest and the newest, because we just built a new structure and just built a whole new church, right? And made it adjacent to connector to that old church.
So did you grow up in that church?
I grew up in that old church, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I just happened to pull out this picture. This is a picture of my grandmother holding me in her arms when this picture was taken. My grandmother was holding me in her arms. Yeah, that's just about middle to the right there, just a little bit. My grandmother.
Oh, you're the baby.
I'm just a little baby. Got a jacket on? I do. Man, I was sharp.
You
were sharp I was back then. Yeah.
All
my
of
brother
those,
on the front
beautiful.
row. My brother Paul was the third person, coming from the left. I guess, from the left. It might be your right on TV. Got a little coat on too. Yeah, he's sharp too. My sister Betty, she was right standing in there, and like I said, we grew up in the church, and that means
in that particular church. And it's a blessing. I was just thinking about this the other day, how I looked around and our churches just doesn't have the children that a representation, doesn't have a representation of children as I'd like for it to have.
No.
And it seems like, I don't know that we're doing different things with our children this day and age, whatever, but I remember growing up in the church, and even when the Bible will say this same thing, said bring up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart. And that's true. Ain't no doubt about it, because when I was brought up in the church, you know, I went out and I had to check the world out and see what was going on and see how great things were and do my little James Brown. But anyway, no, I'm kidding about that.
Did you know James Brown?
What?
Did you know James?
No, I did not. But James Brown, I think, had been to Tullahoma years ago. And like I said, I've told the little story about the when you know, segregation was at its highest. There was what you call the Chitlin circuit. If you were a black artist coming up, the only way you'd get the notoriety and recognition pretty much was travel all over the country and go to these little dives and play in them, you know, and that's where your crowd was. And so, because main television, well, when television first started, they wouldn't fool with you. Radio wouldn't fool with you hardly. And I've got some good stories about radio too. But bottom line was that James Brown came to Tullahoma, I think, a long time ago. Walter Hamilton, you know, used to live here. The Hamilton brothers. Sure. Now the band and the family, the great people, fantastic people.
I love Walter. I sang with him.
Yeah. Well, the young men, the boys that they still have, they have a band. And a group, and we're booking them. The Tennessee State University Alumni Association.
They're fabulous.
Is getting ready to have a jazz night at I believe it's going to be at the Civic Center in August, I think. And so I think the plans are in the works for that. And they'll be there playing at the Civic Center, doing a jazz concert. And that group, like I said, their dad played with a lot of great people.
Oh yeah, he was
a lot of big people.
Superstar.
And so anyway, and they would have to tell you all the people that he's played with. I remember so well. You know, when he first came to town, Walter Hamilton, and good man. He was and fantastic. I'd put him, and I've said that years ago. I'd put him up against anybody, any guitar player, any musician.
Then the thing about it is, when he played with my brother Jerry in the Squires, and he played a guitar, and I mean he was the best I'd ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Well, he laid it down. Then he started playing a piano.
Oh, he played anything, and just like the boys are.
You know, and he didn't play a guitar ever. I mean, he might pick it up every now and then.
And all of his children have accepted.
All of his children.
They all
Tyrone and Walter Jr.
Yeah.
is probably as good a bass player as I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Counting all of them, big stars.
Oh yeah.
Then there's Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac. Isaac, I remember him playing drums when he was 2 years old.
Yeah.
I saw him on TV.
Yeah, they started him out at 2-year-old drummer.
Well, you'd go over to their little restaurant over there.
Uh-huh.
And Isaac being there playing the drums, he wasn't that tall.
I know.
Now we had him. Peggy had him in here for his CD release party.
Tim plays everything. He plays He plays keyboard, plays guitar. And I think they all do. They're multi-talented. And the girls came up. You know, they were always. They didn't usually parts of the band per se, but they sing.
They all sing.
They had fantastic group. You know, just period musicians, and they covered the whole gamut of things.
Sure they did.
Yeah, sure did. And so anyway, they were just a super blessing.
Walter would be proud.
Oh Lord, he was proud then when he died.
Yeah.
I got a picture of him when he was playing at my church years ago, and he got down on his knees playing that guitar. He was really into it, and he ragged back and he was playing. And I got a picture of him in that pose, and that was a fantastic picture. You know, I remember that so well. It's just such a blessing. They've been a blessing to this community.
Yes, they have.
Forever and ever. And Donna is such a fantastic lady.
I was so glad she was honored.
Yeah.
She's a
And
wonderful.
we went to Miss Crutchfield's funeral
Yes.
the other day, and,
Yes.
and that, you talk about a representation of,
Yes.
of fine folks
Yes.
who have done a lot of fine work for this community.
I was grateful.
It was something special.
Mother Bill Crutchfield was a fantastic lady, and I was just honored to be asked to to take a part in the programming, to do the scripture.
I was proud of you and proud for you.
I appreciate that, yeah, and I felt honored, and so she's just been a blessing in my life. And I've known her she's known me all my life. I've known her as long as I've been living, and because she and my mother were great friends.
Right.
And so anyway, and I've got old pictures of her, and that picture on the program for the funeral, that was such a beautiful picture, and one of her daughters, Emma, looks just like that
Yeah,
picture.
she does.
She does. When her mother was younger, and I told her that. It was such a blessing to.
And you talk about music the other day at that funeral.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful.
Yeah.
There was some singing went on there. That
It sure
you
did.
just-
Sure did.
You don't hear just anywhere.
It sure did, and the group from Shelbyville that sang as well, and that was Joe Singleton's wife. They have a church over by the house. I believe is it Whosoever Will, I think is the name of the church, and she's the pastor, Stephanie, and she's from Tullahoma. She used to live here, and she sang, and Joe played, and some of the other gentlemen played. So anyway, it was a blessing. It was just a huge blessing for that at that
Yeah.
time. And my friend Frank Christman died, and they're having his funeral on Thursday. So Frank's been a long time.
Frank died?
Frank died,
I
yeah,
didn't know
sure
that.
did, sure did.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, he's having his funeral Thursday.
All right, well, again, here we are running out of time.
Hey,
Time flies
Time
with
flies.
Jackie.
Oh, time flies.
We just need to
With
get you a
life.
pilot. We need to get you a pilot's license.
All right,
Time
well,
flies
yeah.
with Jackie.
All right, I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be
Kate.
back after these messages.
God bless you both.
I think.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jumping up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate, Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I fell in love with Tennessee from the second that I saw it. From the beautiful rolling hills to the beautiful rivers and streams, the ecosystem and the wildlife are awesome here. But it needs constant care, and that means picking up litter and trash every single chance you get. It's totally polluting the ecosystem, totally polluting the natural resources, and it's a big hazard for our local wildlife. Please join NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and join me in keeping Tennessee beautiful and keeping this part of our great legacy.
Folks, it's about that time, Peggy. We've
just
blown
sit here
through
thinking
another
about-
show.
I am so overwhelmed with the knowledge of history that Jackie Duncan has.
He's said it. There's only we're the bridge.
We're
you know,
the
the people who
bridge, I
do
know
what
it.
he does is the bridge. And every family needs one to get, and he's got a niece that's younger
good,
than him
and that's a really good
you know,
thing.
taking the torch,
Right.
taking the baton from him, and that's a good thing because we need to have that. We need to have it.
Every family should have
Because like
that.
me, I could care.
Well,
You know, I care a little bit, but I don't care
but you
like
don't
some of
want
them do.
to- You don't want to spend the time it takes to dig
Yeah, I
into
mean,
the whole
and
thing.
I'm not going to go through newspapers and all that stuff to figure out what's going on. I read them, throw them, take them. Well, you know what we do? If you have a pet and you have a newspaper, go or find a place, a vet shop where the vet is. Take them newspapers because they use them for lining the cages
Yeah.
of the animals.
Well,
And
yeah,
they
that's
need them,
important.
you know, every time
Sure.
an animal does something,
I'm
they
glad you said that.
more newspapers.
I need to remember
so,
that.
you know, we
We're gonna-
save our newspapers and take them.
We're gonna,
Oh, we're closing right now? We're closing right now.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
forget, Saturday night,
ice cream social.
ice cream social at South
South
Jackson
Jackson.
Civic Center.
Right, free class at 6.
Free dancing with a star.
He is
Peggy
fabulous.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go out and talk to our sponsors, spend some money, and remember, it's
Remember,
voting time.
it's
Go
time
vote.
to vote. Read and
Next
watch
time.
and ask questions.